Hi everyone, I'm Jen. I'm here to guide you through a short 20 to 30 minute-ish, very slow and very low to the ground, calming, grounding, and centering yoga practice. I think something I know that I personally need, and perhaps you do too, in these crazy and uncertain times. So welcome. I invite you to start this yoga practice with my favorite meditation, my favorite breath work, courtesy Lilius Folin, called the Resurrection Breath. We'll go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seat, crisscross applesauce. You can rest your hands, palms facing up or palms facing down. I personally prefer them down. Lightly resting them on your knees, your lap, your legs, wherever. And when you're ready, lightly close your eyes. Imagine taking a big black permanent marker and starting from the crown of your head and working your way down the center of your body. Imagine drawing a big black line, a permanent line, so as to divide your body into a left side and a right side. That left side is 5 minutes ago, yesterday, 2 weeks ago. It's the past. That big black center line is the present moment. Your right side is tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, 10 years from now, the future. Extend your gaze, again, eyes lightly closed over your left shoulder. We're going to do 3 breaths over each shoulder, inhaling through our nose and exhaling audibly through our mouth. So take a deep breath in and exhale out. 2 more. Exhaling away your doubts, your frustrations, your insecurities about yesterday. Extend your gaze over the center line. Acknowledge it's there. Feel its presence. Before extending your gaze over your right shoulder, 3 long, smooth breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one, really feel it. Return your gaze to center and smile. You're here. The only place that matters. Please place your palms together in front of your chest, your thumbs finding and feeling that center line, your heart center. And if you'd like, I invite you to set an intention today, a purpose of remaining more aware of that center line instead of choosing to dwell on the things on the right or the left of it, yesterday and tomorrow. Choose to be here. We'll seal our intention by lowering our chin to our chest, our head to our heart. Lightly flicking the eyes open. Welcome. Release your hands down to your side. And we'll begin with 3 sun breaths. Inhale, your arms up. Look up, palms touch. Bring those hands to heart center. Moving with your breath here. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Every movement, every breath done with intention. Beautiful. Release your hands and keeping your glutes where they're at. So you want to remain contact with the earth, right? We want to be grounded. We're going to slowly inhale our arms up And exhale, fold forward. Bow, surrender, if you will. This should feel good. Release the weight of your neck, the weight of your head. Maybe do a few movements of your neck just to relax into the pose, and then find some stillness here. Excellent. Slowly walk up. We'll do a short little twist here. So right hand behind you, left hand to our right knee. Inhale, look up, and then exhale, twist open. Finding a little bit more length and depth with the exhale. And turn to center. Repeat on the other side. So left hand behind you, right hand, right knee. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Return to center. And I know it seems kind of silly, but we're going to change the cross of our legs. So if one leg was in front, put it behind. And you'll notice a very small difference when we do these same postures that we just did, simply by changing the cross of our legs. So let's try and be more mindful, pay more attention to the way we feel. So inhale and exhale. Again, our glute stays grounded here. And this time, maybe you can place your hands, palms facing up. Notice again a subtle movement. Maybe adds an infinite amount more comfort or discomfort. And breathing here. Slowly walk up. Again, same twist. Inhale and exhale. Twist over to the right. And breathing. You're in the comfort of your own home, so you can breathe. Return to center. Twist open to the left. Beautiful. From here, I'd like for you to extend your legs long. So have them, about hip distance apart. Keep your glutes grounded. Again, we want to be stable and secure. Place our hands down by our side. This is staff pose, Dandasana. So engage through the legs, flex those toes. Honestly, this is one of my least favorite yoga poses, but it's so good for our legs. And then release the legs, unflex those toes. Inhale those arms up. Then exhale, fold forward. Again, not all the way to our toes, maybe just the mid-shin here. And breathing. Maybe each time you exhale, you can inch forward a little bit more. Maybe not, and that's okay. Couple more breaths, a couple more movements forward. Beautiful. Slowly inch back up, super slowly, and bring your feet together. We're going to find a cobbler's pose, a butterfly pose, but instead of having our feet super close to our body, let's make it into more of a diamond position, so a little bit farther away. We'll sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, we're going to fold forward. We're going to use this as a yin posture. So what this means is we're going to hold this for a little bit longer than customary. Placing our hands on our feet, maybe opening out our arms, placing them on our legs. Might not feel much at first because we're so far away from our body, but we're going to hold this for 20 breaths or so, much longer than most of us normally do. So yeah, we are breathing. I think sometimes with these yin postures or even restorative postures where there's not a lot of movement but more of a static pose that you hold, I think sometimes that turns people off just because maybe it's just my experience. I think sometimes people are uncomfortable with the silence, that awkward silence, so to speak. That it shouldn't be quiet, but breathing, right? Each time we inhale, again, we relax into the pose a little bit more, but we're not forcing it. We're notice that we're not completely static and completely still, because with every breath, there's a slight, subtle, energetic movement throughout our body. And if we're really paying attention, if we're really grounded in this present moment, I think we're more attuned to those. A few more breaths here. Now, as we get ready to get out of this pose, we want to make sure we're moving really, really slowly. So honoring the body again, slowly getting out of this pose, rising up, might feel good. Placing our hands down on the earth, maybe windshield wiping the legs. So it might feel good to have some movement. And then we'll extend those legs out long again. Sit up nice and tall, inhale up. And fold forward. Again, not necessarily touching our toes. And touching our soul, I guess. Which I know, that sounds kind of kooky. And super slowly walk up. Excellent. We're going to make our way to hands and knees. All right. So we're going to make our way to hands and knees, tabletop position here. So when we do tabletop position, we want to make sure our joints are stacked. So our shoulders are directly above our wrists. Our hips are directly above our knees. So when yoga teachers talk about stacking the joints, that's what they mean. So we're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. So we're going to dig deep into our hands, fingers are spread nice and wide. We're going to drop the belly, lift up through the butt, through the head here. Cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, releasing the head. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Return to that tabletop position, that neutral spine. And from here, we're going to lift up through the right leg, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to lower the leg and lift the leg. We're going to do this about 8-10 times or so. Again, our back is still relatively neutral. This is a good hamstring stretch, hamstring exercise, I guess, strengthening exercise. I can tell you all about hamstring stretches and strengthening as I've battled a number of hamstring issues because of running. Slow, intentional movements. Beautiful. And release, and we'll do that the same on the left leg. So all we're doing is lifting up, not arching the back, and just lowering. Good. We're strengthening the back side of that left leg. And breathing. And then release. We're going to do the same thing, lift up that right leg, staying here, or extending your left arm forward. It looks like I did not think my TV stand is right there. And then exhale, round through the spine, bring that left elbow to the right knee. Do this 2 or 3 more times. Lengthening out. Beautiful. Exhale, release, and I'm going to move back a little bit. And repeat on the left side. Inhale the left leg up. Extend the right arm forward, palm facing in if you'd like. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. 3 or 4 times here. Slow movements. Excellent. Release. Do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. And exhale. We're going to find that pose again and add on top of it. So when you're ready, we're going to extend our right leg back. Left arm forward. Hold here. Before lowering that left arm, pivoting the left leg, twisting open to the right arm comes up. You can keep your right leg down, or if it's comfortable, you can lift it up. Modified side plank here. Certainly a great place to stay, but if you want to, we can incorporate some breath with our movement by lowering and lifting, inhaling and exhaling. One more, and this time we'll hold for 3, 2, 1, and release before we repeat on the other side. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see me a little bit better. So we're going to lift up through the left leg, right arm floats up. You can stay here, or you can find that modified side plank by lowering your right hand, pivoting the right leg, lifting up through the left arm, and lifting up the left leg. You can certainly stay here, or again, lowering, inhale, and exhale. Gaze can be wherever suits you best. And this time we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Super slowly. Get out of that. And however suits you best, find child's pose. You can have your knees together. Your knees open wide, big toes touching. Sink your hips. Maybe make yourself a little pillow by stacking your arms on top, floating the weight of your head to that pillow, and taking a breath. Maybe here I invite you to recommit to your intention. Remembering that big black line you drew down the center of your body. And then slowly rise up. And then go ahead and find a seat here. Most houses have walls or couches or chairs. If it's possible for the next few poses, so again, this whole class is going to be low and slow. So we just did the slow, and now we're going to do some of the low. And we're going to utilize a wall. So one of my favorite sorts of yoga is Yin Yoga, so long postures you hold for a relatively decent amount of time, but utilizing a wall. All right, again, if you don't have a wall, but I think most people do, you can use a chair or even your couch. So take this time to find a spot that you can use a wall. So for me, I'm just going to situate myself right here up against my fireplace. And we're going to start by doing legs up the wall. So legs up the wall, if you've never done it before, is the best yoga pose ever. Sometimes if you've never done it before, it can be awkward to get in. So all you have to do is scoot up super close to the wall. So hip up against the wall, and then you just shimmy. That's all you do. Just shimmy. All right. Again, you do the best with what you have wherever you are now. So for me, that means I'm using a fireplace. For you, that might mean you're using a chair. So all we're going to do is prop our legs up, maybe placing our hands on our belly. And if it's comfortable, closing your eyes. Again, make sure first that your glutes are fully grounded. So again, this is a calming, grounding, low and slow class. So we want some connection with the earth, with your mat. Feet are roughly hip distance apart. This is such a beautiful pose to do when you're feeling anxious. This is probably the only pose I do every single day. And the great thing about a wall, besides for balancing poses, which we didn't do for this particular class, today at least, the great thing about a wall is basically every pose that you can do on your mat, you can do on the wall, including butterfly. So if you'd like, we're going to do butterfly in the wall just for a moment because we already held it earlier in the class. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. And just notice the subtle differences. So one of the great things about yoga is that it helps us to be more in touch with our body. Notice how this butterfly feels compared to your other butterfly, the seated butterfly, the one we held. If you want to, you can keep your hands on your belly, or you can place your hands on your legs and open out a little bit farther, whatever feels good. From here, we'll extend those legs back up, just for a quick sec here. And we're going to do one more great pose. So we're going to do pigeon on the wall, figure 4 on the wall. So for this, we want to scoot back just a little bit. Again, our butt is still going to be on our mat here. So we're going to take our left foot and we're going to plant it firmly against the wall. We're going to take our right leg and bend it and cross it over our left leg. So a figure 4 here. And again, you can manipulate the intensity. So you can lower or raise your foot. And again, you want to have that butt planted firmly on your mat. This should feel really good. It's a great hip opener. Just being careful with your body where it is right now. And feeling the rise and the fall of your breath. And then slowly releasing that leg and switching sides. So right foot becomes planted, left leg crosses on top of the right, flexing into those toes here. Noticing the difference between the right side and the left side. And breathing. And slowly coming out of that pose. Making your way back up to legs up the wall. And we'll come to Shavasana. So I invite you to certainly use the wall for your Shavasana, doing legs up the wall, or if you prefer a more traditional Shavasana, you can remove your body from the wall and find your spot on your back, your legs extended out, your hands on your belly or down by your side, your fingertips so relaxed, they lightly curl up. And Shavasana, the relaxing pose, the final pose of yoga, it's one that so many people skip. It's the most important pose. It's the pose where you allow your body to integrate everything that you've done for it, for your yoga practice. You're certainly welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like, but when you're ready, you can make your way to a comfortable seated position by turning over to your right side and then propping yourself up. Again, that same easy seat that we had at the beginning of class. Placing your palms together, thumbs finding that center line. The present moment. You are here. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, for coming into my house, quite literally. Thank goodness the dogs were quiet. I hope you found this practice calming, centering, and grounding. The deepest part of me honors and celebrates the deepest part in you. Namaste.